Right here, yeah, buddy. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants to chase their dreams. But let me tell you something real. Dreams don't grow if you feed them excuses. Right here, excuses are like junk food for your goals. They taste good in the moment, but they leave your future weak, starving, and powerless. You can either fuel your dream with discipline, or you can starve with excuses. Right here, ain't nothing gonna change until you stop lying to yourself and start putting in that heavy rep work in life. Lightweight excuses won't build heavyweight dreams. Everybody wants to be successful. Thing right here, everybody wants to live their dream. Everybody talks about what they're gonna do. But when it comes down to putting in that real consistent work, that's where the excuses start creeping in. And right here, and let me tell you something straight, excuses are the biggest killers of dreams, bigger than failure, bigger than rejection, bigger than obstacles, because excuses don't just stop you one time, they stop you every time. Here, they stop you before you even begin. They stop you in the middle of your grind. They stop you when it gets heavy, and they stop you right when you're about to break through. Right here, excuses are like termites eating away at the foundation of your house. You don't always see them right away, but slowly they're destroying everything you built until it all collapses. See, everybody wants to get motivated. Right here, everybody wants to get hyped up, but motivation without consistency is worthless. Motivation without action is just noise. You can watch all the videos, listen to all the speeches, read all the quotes right here. But if you keep feeding yourself excuses when it's time to act, you will starve your dream. And I'm telling you, consistency is the real fuel right here. Consistency is the thing that makes the difference between people who talk about success and people who live success. It's not about doing it once. It's about showing up every single day, even when you're tired, right here, even when it hurts, even when nobody's watching, even when the results aren't showing up yet. That's where the growth happens. Think about it like lifting. You don't get stronger by hitting the gym once a month. Right here, you don't build muscle by doing a couple of reps and then quitting for the week. You build muscle by showing up day after day, hitting the weights, pushing through the pain, pushing through the days you don't feel like it. And life works the same way. Your dream is your body, your consistency is the training, and your excuses are the missed workouts. Every excuse is a skipped rep. Every excuse is a skipped workout right here. And over time, those skips add up until your dream is weak, starving, and lifeless. And people always say, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start next week. I'll start when I feel ready. But let me break it to you. Tomorrow is just another excuse dressed up as hope. Next week is just another delay that robs you of the progress you could have made today. There is no perfect time. There is no magical moment when everything feels right. Here, the right time is when you decide to stop making excuses and start being consistent. That's the difference maker. That's what separates champions from the average. Excuses always sound good in the moment. Right here, they give you comfort. They give you a reason to not do the hard thing. They let you justify your laziness, your fear, your doubt. But excuses don't pay off. Excuses don't put food on the table. Right here, excuses don't build empires. Excuses don't get you strong. Excuses don't get you closer to your dream. They just make you feel better about doing nothing. And the truth is, every time you give in to an excuse, right here, you're telling yourself that your dream isn't worth the effort. Every time you skip the work, you're starving your future. Consistency is boring. Nobody wants to hear that. Everybody wants the secret, the shortcut, right here, the magic formula. But the truth is, it's about showing up and doing the work over and over and over again. That's the heavy rep work of life. Consistency is the grind when nobody's clapping. Here, consistency is the early mornings and late nights. Consistency is the sacrifice. Consistency is the discipline. And excuses are the enemy of that. Excuses rob you of consistency, and once you lose consistency, you lose momentum. And once you lose momentum, your dream starts to fade. Think about the people you admire, the people you call successful, the people you look up to. They didn't get there by doing it once in a while. They got there by being consistent, by refusing to let excuses stop them. When the world told them it wasn't possible, they showed up anyway. When they were tired, they showed up anyway. When they failed, right here, they showed up anyway. They didn't let excuses steal their consistency because they knew consistency was the only thing that would take them from where they were to where they wanted to be. Now here's the thing. Here, excuses come in many forms. Sometimes they're loud, sometimes they're quiet. Sometimes they sound like fear. What if I fail? Sometimes they sound like laziness. I'll do it later. Sometimes they sound like comfort. I deserve a break. And sometimes they sound like logic. No, it's not the right time. But no matter what form they take, right here, they all do the same thing. They stop you from being consistent. They cut off your fuel supply. And a dream without fuel dies. People think failure kills dreams, but failure doesn't kill dreams. Quitting does. Right here. And the reason people quit is because they allow excuses to become stronger than their discipline. You have to flip that. Your discipline has to be stronger than your excuses. Your hunger has to be stronger than your comfort. Right here, your drive has to be stronger than your doubt. That's how you build consistency. That's how you keep showing up day after day. When you're chasing something big, it's not going to be easy. Right here, there are going to be days you don't feel like it. There are going to be days you want to give up. There are going to be days where excuses seem louder than your ambition. But that's when you have to dig deep. Right here, that's when you have to remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself of the vision. Remind yourself that every rep counts, every step counts, every act of consistency is one more meal for your dream. Right here, and every excuse is one more day starving it. Your dream is like a fire. It needs fuel to keep burning. That fuel is consistency. Every day you show up, you're throwing wood on the fire. Every day you make an excuse. Right here, you're letting that fire burn out, and once it's out, it's hard to light again. That's why you can't play around with excuses. You can't feed your dream junk food and expect it to grow. You have to give it real fuel. Here, daily fuel, consistent fuel. Look at bodybuilding, look at training, look at anything in life worth having. It's all about consistency. You can't eat one good meal and expect abs. Right here, you can't do one workout and expect strength. You can't practice one day and expect mastery. You have to keep going, keep grinding, keep pushing, even when you don't see results right away, because the results come later. The strength comes later. The success comes later. The payoff comes after the grind, not before. And if you let excuses rob you of that grind, you'll never see the payoff. Consistency is the silent killer of mediocrity. It's the thing that separates the good from the great, the average from the elite. Excuses will always try to pull you back into average. Excuses will always whisper, take it easy, you've done enough. Right here, you can do it tomorrow. But consistency demands that you rise above that. Consistency demands that you show up anyway. Consistency demands that you choose the harder path in the moment so you can live the better life later. The truth is, excuse is uncomfortable, consistency is uncomfortable. Excuses are easy, consistency is hard. Excuses feel good now, consistency feels good later. Excuses give you a temporary escape. Right here, consistency gives you permanent results. You've got to choose what you want more, the comfort of excuses or the power of your dreams, because you can't have both. You can't feed your excuses and expect your dreams to grow. You can't be inconsistent and expect consistent results. When you start eliminating excuses, you start building discipline. When you start building discipline, here, you start building consistency. And when you start building consistency, you start feeding your dream every single day. That's how you grow it. That's how you strengthen it right here. That's how you take it from a vision in your head to a reality in your life. But it all starts with killing those excuses before they kill your consistency. Discipline is the difference maker right here. Discipline is the thing that stands between a dream that's starving and a dream that's thriving. And too many people don't want to hear it because discipline isn't flashy. It isn't sexy. It isn't easy right here, but it's the truth. Motivation comes and goes. It rises and falls like the tide. One day you're fired up and ready to take on the world. The next day you're tired and you don't feel like doing anything here. But discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline shows up anyway. Discipline doesn't ask if you're motivated. Discipline doesn't wait until it feels good. Discipline doesn't wait for the perfect conditions. Here, it just shows up, it just works, it just grinds, and that's what feeds your success. Think about the people you've seen reach incredible heights, athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders, artists, right here, that are not running on motivation every single day, because no human being can stay motivated all the time, but they run on discipline. They build habits, they build routines. Right here, they build a standard for themselves that doesn't waver depending on mood, depending on weather, depending on circumstances. They understand that if they leave their dreams at the mercy of motivation, right here, they'll starve those dreams to death. But if they anchor themselves in discipline, they'll feed those dreams no matter what. Discipline is the bridge between what you want and what you get. Right here, it's the price of admission for greatness. It's the thing that separates talkers from doers. Everyone says they want success. Everyone says they want to change their life. Everyone says they want to live their dreams right here. But when it comes time to put down the excuses and pick up discipline, that's where most people stop. They stop because discipline's heavy. Discipline feels strict. Discipline feels relentless here. But that's the exact reason why it works. It reshapes you. It transforms you. It takes you from who you are right now to who you need to become. Discipline is about doing the thing when the last thing you want to do is the thing. Discipline is about waking up early when you want to sleep. It's about putting in the reps when your body says no. Right here, it's about studying when your mind wants to relax. It's about saying no to comfort, saying no to distraction, saying no to instant gratification, and saying yes to the bigger picture, yes to the long game. Right here, yes to the future that you want to build. That's what feeds success. That's what builds momentum. That's what takes a starving dream and gives it the fuel to grow strong. Excuses are easy. Discipline is hard. Here, excuses tell you to stay where you are. Discipline tells you to keep moving. Excuses let you off the hook. Discipline keeps you on the hook. Excuses feel good now but cost you later. Here, discipline costs you now but rewards you later. And the reason so many people never reach their dreams is because they choose the ease of excuses over the weight of discipline. Right here, they choose to starve their dream instead of feeding it. Discipline is not punishment, it's freedom. Most people get it backwards. They think discipline is this cage that keeps them locked down, but in reality, right here, it's the key that unlocks the life you want. Without discipline, you're a slave to your moods, a slave to your laziness, a slave to your fears. With discipline, you're in control. You decide, you choose. Here, you command yourself to act no matter what. That's real freedom, that's real power, that's what separates the weak from the strong. When you look at the greatest bodybuilders, the strongest athletes, here, the most successful people in any field, what you're really looking at is discipline in human form. You're looking at years of daily choices, daily sacrifices, daily actions stacked on top of each other. Right here, you're looking at someone who said no to excuses more times than they can count. You're looking at someone who fed their dream with discipline every single day until it grew into something the world couldn't ignore. Here, discipline's repetition, it's structure, it's routine. It's the small actions done again and again and again until they become part of who you are. You don't rise to the level of your goals. Hey, you fall to the level of your discipline. And if your discipline is weak, your results will be weak. Your success will be weak. Your dream will stay hungry. But if your discipline is strong, your results will be strong. Here, your success will be strong and your dream will be fed until it becomes unstoppable. People want to be extraordinary, but they want to do ordinary work. They want big results, but small effort. Right here, they want the rewards of discipline without the practice of discipline. That's not how it works. Success doesn't come because you want it. It comes because you've disciplined yourself to do what others won't. Right here, to grind when others quit, to stay focused when others drift. Discipline is what feeds that fire. Discipline is what builds that strength. Discipline is what keeps your dream alive when motivation has long burned out. Right here. And discipline isn't just about big things. It's about the small things. It's about making your bed. It's about showing up on time. It's about sticking to your diet. It's about finishing what you start. Here, it's about doing the little things with excellence. Because the way you do the little things is the way you do everything. If you're sloppy in the small, you'll be sloppy in the big. If you're disciplined in the small, here, you'll be disciplined in the big. Every choice you make is either feeding your dream or starving it. Every moment is a test of discipline. The truth is, discipline hurts. It hurts to wake up early. Here, it hurts to push through fatigue. It hurts to sacrifice comfort. It hurts to say no to temptation. But that pain is temporary. The pain of discipline is sharp and quick, but the pain of regret is endless. Right here, there's the pain of knowing you could have done more. You could have gone harder. You could have been consistent, but you gave in to excuses. That pain doesn't leave. Here, and the only way to avoid that pain is to embrace the discipline now, to pay the price now, to suffer now so you can win later. Discipline is a choice, and it's a choice you make over and over again. Every morning you wake up, you decide whether you're going to feed your excuses or feed your discipline. Every time you're tired, you decide whether you're going to lay down or get up. Every time you face resistance, right here, you decide whether you're going to give in or push through. Discipline is not something you find, it's something you build, one choice at a time, one action at a time, one day at a time. If you want to feed your dream, right here, you've got to put it on a steady diet of discipline. You've got to make sure that no matter what comes your way, you show up. You've got to treat discipline like oxygen, something you need every single day to stay alive. Without it, because your dream is suffocating without it. Your dream is starving without it. Your dream cannot survive on motivation alone. It needs discipline. It needs consistency. It needs the kind of daily grind that excuses can never provide. You can't lift your dreams with weak excuses, only strong actions. And that's a fact that too many people try to run away from because excuses are light. Right here, they don't weigh anything. They don't demand anything. They don't force you to change. They just sit there and make you feel comfortable while your dreams starve. Action is heavy. Action is resistance. Here, action is where, the weighted action is where you get stronger. And just like in the gym, if you don't pick up the heavy stuff, you're never going to grow. You're never going to see progress. Right here, you're never going to build anything worth looking at. Everybody says they want it. Everybody says they've got a dream. But when it comes time to put in the work, most people reach for excuses instead of action. Right here, they say, I'm tired. They say, I don't have time. They say, I'll do it tomorrow. And all those weak excuses keep piling up while the dream sits there unfazed, untouched, unlived. Right here, you can't lift your way to success with excuses because excuses weigh nothing And nothing builds nothing. Strong actions, repeated actions, relentless actions, that's the real weight room for your future. Think about this right here. When you go into the gym and you grab the heaviest dumbbell, at first it feels impossible. At first it feels like you're not strong enough. But every rep makes you stronger. Every rep makes you tougher. Every rep gets you closer to lifting it with ease. Life is the same way. The actions that scare you, the actions that feel too heavy, the actions that demand sacrifice, those are the ones that will grow you right here. Those are the ones that will feed your dreams. But if all you ever do is put excuses on the bar, you're lifting air, and air doesn't build muscle, air doesn't build character, air doesn't build dreams. Here, excuses will never create progress because excuses don't require sacrifice. Action does. Excuses don't require pain. Action does. Excuses don't require commitment. Action does. Here, excuses let you stay in the same spot for years, telling yourself lies while the clock keeps ticking. Action moves you forward even when it hurts, even when it's uncomfortable. Right here, even when it feels like you're carrying the weight of the world. And the crazy thing is, the more action you take, the lighter the weight feels because you've built the strength to handle it. Weak excuses are a disease. Right here, they spread through your life and infect every area. You make an excuse at the gym, you'll make an excuse at work. You make an excuse in your relationships, you'll make an excuse in your finances. And before you know it, then right here, your whole life is one big excuse for why you never became what you could have been. Strong action is the cure. It's the medicine that tastes bitter but heals you. It's the iron that burns but builds you. That's something right here. It's the grind that feels brutal in the moment but leaves you stronger every single time. People talk about dreams like they're guaranteed. Like they're just going to show up one day if they keep believing hard enough. Right here, belief without action is just daydreaming. Dreams are built brick by brick, rep by rep, action by action. You can believe in a strong body all you want, but if you never touch a weight, you'll stay weak. Right here, you can believe in a business all you want, but if you never take steps, you'll stay broke. You can believe in success all you want, but if you never act, you'll stay stuck. Dreams demand action, not excuses. Right here, excuses are always easy to find. They're sitting around waiting for you, bad weather, no money, no time, no energy, no support. If you want them, you'll always have a reason to stop. You'll always have a reason to delay. Right here, you'll always have a reason to quit. But excuses don't produce results. Nobody in history ever became great because of excuses. They became great because of action, because they did something rare, because they took the heavy steps, because they lifted the weight of responsibility and carried it day after day until their dreams got strong enough to stand. Weak excuses are for weak minds. Strong actions are for strong people, and strength isn't something you're born with. Strength is something you build, and you build it through action. Every time you take action, instead of making an excuse, you add weight to your character. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you add muscle to your spirit. Every time you push the resistance, you feed your dream a meal that helps it grow. Life is just like training right here. The body doesn't grow from sitting on the bench watching others work. It grows when you pick up the bar, when you strain, when you sweat, when you push through the burn. Your dream is no different. Here, it's starving when you watch others take action. It's starving when you sit and wait for the perfect time. It's starving when you think about it, but never move on it. It only grows when you give it strong action, when you put in the work, when you make the sacrifices, when you refuse to let excuses win. Strong actions create momentum. One step leads to another, one rep leads to another, one win leads to another. Excuses create paralysis. Here, they keep you stuck in the same place, overthinking, overplanning, waiting, delaying, and before you know it, years have passed, and the dream that once burned in you is nothing but ashes. If you want to keep that fire alive, right here, if you want to see it grow into something real, you've got to keep feeding it with action. Action's oxygen, excuses are suffocation. People love to talk about how badly they want something here, but one doesn't weigh anything either. You can want to be strong, you can want to be successful, you can want to be great, but if you don't take action, it's just empty talk. Strong action is the weight, right here. Strong action is the proof, strong action is the grind that separates the ones who want it from the ones who actually get it.